What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Big Ox Uchia. Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm finally back. I am so glad to finally be back on live, baby. Just getting back to what we do the most. We're getting back to, watching these videos, getting back to reacting, getting back to this channel. I am so excited to be here right now. Now, you might see me look over here because that's where my videos come in at. I'm going to look to my left, your right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to look at my videos over here. You're going to see it on the screen. I might, if I see it on my screen, I'll do it. Of course, now as y'all can see, we are powered by StreamYard, and that's what we do. And before we get started, if you like to be a part of this situation, hit the like the button and subscribe to this channel so that we can get you a part of this situation. The Big Ox Uchia is an interesting channel. It is not like your other channels out there. We do not tell you what to think. We don't tell you how to think. We just like to bring the conversation out and make you know. Made the discussion fun. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. There's a good chance, great chance, that I may actually agree with you. I may actually like what you're saying, but I may actually tell you that I don't agree with you. And I may argue you automatically just because I want to make sure that the conversation is hot. You know what I'm saying? I like to have a good conversation, so I'll play devil's advocate sometimes, just so that I can get your feedback, to get your ideas circulating. So yeah, that's me, the Big Ox Uchia. My name is the Big Ox Uchia. I've been on YouTube for a long time. Some of you remember me for doing the videos back in the day. I used to do online videos, but YouTube took away all my videos. When I mean they took away all my videos, I had like 15 videos, and when Viacom took over, they destroyed that. And so I really have been trying to figure out how I can revive this channel and what way I wanted to do it. I got two different channels. I got the Big Ox Uchia and I got Juniper Church. You will see both, but this is not so much a Christian channel as it is a Christian who does YouTube. Amen. So I will say it like that. You may hear me say amen a lot because I say amen all the time. So that's my thing. So if you see that, don't feel like I'm trying to convert you. If you got a weak skin, don't worry. This is the perfect place for you. If you got thick skin, this is a good place for you. You know, we try to invite everybody in and get everybody a part of things. If you like how I sound, let me know in the comment section, or just hit a like, just so I know that you are able to hear things. I don't expect anyone to subscribe specifically right now. I don't expect anything but your participation of some type of comment as we react to some of these videos. I'm going to be putting on in a minute. We're going to talk about some things. I'm looking at now to what videos I want to kind of like talk about. Um, Everything from the daily wrap up crew. We're going to look at different things today. So we're talking about in this topic the Black Manosphere and what I think about it and my ideas about it. There's two opinions that I have in total about the Black Manosphere. And if you don't know what the Black Manosphere is, what real red pill is, Black Manosphere is kind of like a two-way thing. There's kind of like two kind of sides to it. There is your MGTOW, who is kind of like men going their own way, and they're kind of like the extreme of things. They don't have any desire for relationships with women and stuff like that. They are men who are kind of like Mennonists to kind of be, honestly, they're going their own way. They don't want to go the original way or where society is going with more of a feministic idea and those type of things and those type of rhetorics. Then there's the Black Manosphere that kind of focuses on kind of building the relationship of everything to kind of building out how things are supposed to sound. They're really kind of focusing in on the way we kind of articulate ourselves in relationship. Black Manosphere kind of focuses on kind of a diverse kind of thing. It's not just one topic. It's not just relationships, but it's relationships. It's how the two people communicate with one another, how we live in our society, how we build wealth. It's really kind of a sphere, a planetary thing, of a sense, and kind of like started with Tommy Sotomayor, but kind of not with him. I think O'Shea Duke Jackson is really more so him, AB. It was a whole bunch of people who were involved. It wasn't just men, it was women involved too, all listening in, all kind of coming to one like diverse opinion of things. I believe it was one Professor Black Truth was also kind of in that space too at one point or another, or he might be. And then of course now you got your Kevin Samuels, you got your lead attorneys, you got things. So we're going to talk today about very much about how you know I feel about the Black Manosphere and what I think about the Black Manosphere, and then we're going to react to some videos about it. Okay, so I think that's a good brief overview of who they are. Is probably a kind of an elementary point of view. How do I agree with it? Do I agree with it? I'm not going to tell you completely right now. I think we're going to get into that as the story kind of progresses. If you come in at any point, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button for me. Let me know that you're here, that you've attended. Feel free to hit the chat, give me a comment, let me know how you think about things, about the channel, or just even about the situations as we develop the video. Okay, so shout out to everybody who comes in and looks at the video, who watches the video, puts their name on it, who puts their name down, who's watching right now. Shout out to you. Shout out to my girl. I know you out there watching. Thank you for taking some time and watching my channel. I have a good, supportive woman who does take care of me, makes me feel like a king. She's a Black woman. I'm a Black man. So we got Black love going on here. We do that here at the Big Ox Uchia. So, getting into things, I wanted to look at a few. Now, again, I'm not saying that every video that I watch is a part of it, but I will be giving out videos, and we're gonna watch some to see. And I'm gonna tell you what I think and what they think, and I'm gonna tell you what side I sit with, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the first video is going to be. Okay, so this is from a daily wrap-up crew. And this one is going to be kind of one of their quick videos real quick. So what we're not going to do is get into all that the racist stuff of things. We're not going to get into the race of things because that's not going to help anything. Let's see. Okay, we can do this one. The real reason why Black women dislike Kevin Samuel, and we'll do that one first. So let's go with that one. I'm gonna put the video at his infancy, and then I'm gonna get it on the screen. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see it. Hopefully y'all can hear it, and hopefully we can talk about it. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit that. See if it lets me do a full screen. Okay. Guess that's as full as
How do y'all feel about Kevin Samuels, and is he hurting or helping the black community?
He's rude as hell. I don't even listen to him. He's rude.
So how you know you? So how you know you rude? What you rude? Have you ever watched the whole program?
No, he's disrespectful.
I have.
10 seconds is enough. I have.
I feel like Kevin Samuels has the right message, just the wrong delivery.
Yep. I
What's
agree.
the okay?
I've seen a video that he was saying a girl was like, or he asked the girl, what's your ideal man or whatever? And say, for example, she said, oh, tall, dark, and handsome. He was like, well, how much you weigh? And she was like, 175. Oh, bitch, you need to lose weight. What does her weight have to do with that?
He said, bitch, you need to lose weight.
Okay, so this is where I do have my ideas and opinions. So first off, before I get into Kevin Samuels, I will say one thing that I noticed that people do, they exaggerate, what someone has said and not specifically about what they're trying to say. So, for example, this woman says, he says this B, and that's not specifically what he probably would have said. If you watch the Kevin Samuels video, I won't say he never cussed, but it's very seldom that he cusses people out. I think he's so heavy with the trigger, he doesn't really need to cuss people out. So him saying that was not something that Kevin Samuels would probably say. But I would say that he does have a condescending way of dealing with people in general, both male and female. I see him, call men out kind of rudely. I see him call women out kind of rudely. And I think he's very condescending. I think that he does have I think if you don't have a thick skin, going to Kevin Samuels is the worst person to try to get advice from, because he's not going to say nice things to you. If you're expecting that from him, he might not be your cup of tea. But I do agree that he has a very condescending way of speaking to people, and I don't think that's that he's. But does that mean that he's wrong in his assessments? I'm gonna tell you what I think as the video progresses. Let's go.
Right now, he did. He's like, yo,
you need to
lose weight. Like, you
fat.
You can't have no preference in you. Like, her weight got to do with the kind of man she wants. Like, that's true.
I mean, see, and that's
to do with it.
What you mean? You asking
that's the reality part.
What that got to do with it?
I've seen toothless Ruthie's out here with niggas that look like.
That don't mean that's gonna be you.
Like,
that don't mean it's gonna be you. That's the exception.
Why it's not though? Right?
No, not you, literally.
Not you. We're talking about the 175 chick on the video.
But I'm saying she can have.
Okay, so this is where I kind of like disagree, but agree with Kevin Samuels. I do agree that he has that everybody. First off, let me say this: everybody has the right to their preference. Everybody has the right to like what they like, who they like. I think everybody has the right to choose to be with someone that's even the opposite of themselves. Everybody doesn't want the splitting image of themselves. Some people do want to be with somebody that's not like them. They want somebody who is going to be, maybe that you're not, not the kindest of person of the best with people, but, maybe they went to, they got this person who's a better, personal speaker than they are. Maybe they're better with finances than somebody's better with, I think it's not, everybody's not the same. And, I think that is why, those three. Yeah. They are not the same. I think that there's a lot of people who, Irish, I think there's a lot of people who think that like, they could just say whatever they want. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at some comments just came in. Let's see. Let's see. Those women have a sexual marketplace value of about 1 out of 1 or 3 or 10 at best. Okay. these women are not attractive at all. So but see, I think that's a little harsh because you don't know who is going to feel attractive for whom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's subjective. I think one person might find attractive, another person might not. Some people want certain things, some people don't. So I wouldn't say that these people aren't attractive to them. So let's not be like disingenuous. There's some people that you find attractive that everyone else would find unattractive. Put it like this: every man doesn't want to be with Rihanna. You see what I'm saying? Every man doesn't want to be with Scarlett Johansson. Some men want a Melissa Ford. Some men want crazy enough, there's some men out there that want a Lizzo. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, everybody's, it's very subjective to say, what one person is going to want, or the high majority of a certain type of man want this thing or another. But I think that it's characteristics that a lot of people don't take into consideration when they are, dealing with another person. You know what I mean, Irish? Thank you, Irish, for coming through. And Irish, he'll chat. Irish, he'll chat. Good. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your consideration and coming through. Let's see. I'm just going to be honest. Black men need to keep their hands off of white women. Now, I'm going to pin that message, and we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to put that up there, and I'm going to put that on the chat and let that be in the chat as one of my pinned messages, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. But right now, we're going to just keep on going with what we got going on here. These women aren't attractive at all. So like I said, attraction is kind of like, to me, a subjective thing. Everybody is not attracted to the same thing. Everybody likes who they like. You can't tell somebody what they find attractive. You can't tell somebody who they should or should not date. I think that is disingenuous. Some people do not want a person who is rich to be with another rich person. Some people want somebody who's not a celebrity. They want to be with somebody who is not famous. I put it to you like this. Denzel Washington's wife is not famous. She's Denzel Washington's wife. Samuel Jackson's wife is not famous. She's Samuel Jackson's wife. They're not famous. I'm sure that they have the power and the authority that comes along with being with a Samuel Jackson, with being with a Denzel Washington, but they are not, the front and center. You have LeBron James. He has a wife. We don't hear from her all the time, but yet you got someone like Curry, whose wife is right there in the forefront, and she's kind of like a public type person. She's not a behind the scenes wife. She's kind of an image driven person. And their whole family kind of is. So it's kind of like a different mentality. So I think that, could Ayesha Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry be married to LeBron James and still be the same type of person? I don't know. I think it just depends on what the person is looking for. But let's continue into the video and see what goes on. And once again, shout out to you, Hill Chant, Irish Hill Chant. Thank you for your comment. I'm going to consider you talking
about it. Is not. That's not even depending on if you 5'5".
It depends on how tall she is. It depends on how tall she is.
I'm 173. You can't tell.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
How tall was she?
You don't know her.
I'm pretty sure he asked her how tall she was before he said, "Yo, you big."
Her weight had nothing to do with the kind of man she wants.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what type of person you want. Now, what type of person you might get, that's a different conversation. But what type of person you want? No, they're right. The women are right in that respect. Her preference, be it lofty or not, she has the right to whatever preference she wants. If she wants to have a muscular guy and she's not muscular, she has every right to have that preference. No one can tell you what your preferences should be. Like, that's why it's your preference. It's not the same as, it's not the same as smoking cigarettes or drinking out. But even that, I can tell you not to smoke and drink. It's still your preference and your choice to do so. Even if it's not good for you, it's your choice. No one has the right to take that choice from you. So I do agree with the ladies on this side of things. You can't tell somebody what their preference should or should not be.
It has something to do with the type of man that wants her, not what
exactly. Exactly.
Here's the question. We didn't get to the nigga topic.
She's asking him how can she get this man, right?
No.
What did she call for? What did she call for?
She called. I don't
No, he asked her, you know, what's your ideal man? Blah blah blah.
But what did she call for?
Well, I don't know what she called for.
She probably called because she want that man, and she's asking him how to get that man. Because
So
he asked her, "What's your idea?" Attracting
and you want your chances to be better,
and then you want to know why, and then you want to know why she's having trouble meeting that ideal man.
That makes no sense because there are fat chicks out here with
we're not the majority. That's not the majority.
Okay, so yeah, I also agree with the men on this one. Okay, this is where I agree with the men on this one. Anecdotal is not a good representation of truth. Anecdotal does not represent truth. You cannot tell me that just because one or two people experience something, that now everybody has to experience this the same way. That's not true. Anecdotal does not set the standard. Anecdotal is anecdotal. It's just an extreme of a situation. You don't own it. You know what I'm saying? It's not your situation. It's not everybody's situation. 9 times out of more times than not, this is what's going to happen, right? 100, like not 100% because nothing's 100% with humans, right? We're not 100% all the time. So that's not going to be anything that you could say. But more times than not, on the average, on the higher end of the average, what is going to happen? You know, this is going to be the outcome of the situation. So what these gentlemen are right about is just because a few people have experienced this, you know, just because a few women with missing teeth can find a man, you know, that's a 6-figure doesn't mean that every woman now is going to do this. You know, I hate when when people go and take on personas just because they feel this is what everybody's going to experience now. For example, like you'll see somebody like take on a Rihanna look. You know, say Rihanna, you know, excuse me, my heat might come on, y'all might hear that. But like Rihanna or somebody might come out there and they may shave their head bald for a year. Now, all the women got to shave their head bald because Rihanna decided today that she want to shave her head bald. Or because, like, the one chick say, hey, everybody got to get a Birkin bag. Now, every woman talking about a Birkin bag. Just because one person found them a man that took them to Dubai. Now, every woman got to go to Dubai. Just because one person experienced this doesn't mean the average person is going to get to experience that same thing. You got to look at your situations. You got to look at your lifestyles. You got to see your financial situation. Can you handle such things? Is this something that you should do now? Is this something you can save for? You know, is this too lofty? You know, it's basic goal setting. Is it too lofty? You know, is it completely out of your reach at this point in life? For example, if you make $20,000 a year and you're barely making rent and you don't have lights, heat, and water, your food is down and you're on child support, the last thing you need to be doing is going taking a trip to Dubai. Now, does that mean that you should never take a trip anywhere? No, but you can take a trip maybe to Columbus or to Atlanta, or you drive to somewhere nice, or you know, you can do other things that are just as fun, just as nice, just as beautiful. Take a trip to Florida. Florida is a beautiful place. Go to Kansas. It's a beautiful place. Go to Miami. I don't know. Go to Maine. There's so many different places in this world, in this country, that just goes uncharted in your life. How about trying those places, you know, and trying new things, going to different, you know, places and enjoying the thing. Hey, go around your own city. You'd be amazed at how many people have never even experienced the sights and sounds of their own city that they live in. They just stay in their neighborhood. They don't go outside of it. You know, so it's so many other things that you can do, but you're not allowing yourself to do that. You're not opening up your options to new things. And that's what these gentlemen are kind of saying, because you are so landlocked on this idea, on this anecdotal idea, that you don't allow for any other changes. You don't try for any other opinions. You don't try for new things.
A majority of men who look like that is not dating a majority of women that look like her.
That's not true. That's not true. There's a billion people.
You're talking to 3 men.
There's
Are you dating?
And
this is the issue.
Do you have a girlfriend? No. Do you have a girlfriend? No. So okay, why? What talking about?
If I had a girlfriend, she ain't gonna be 5 feet, 175.
She not. David, let's ask you.
Yeah.
You have a woman.
Yeah. And I've been with plenty of women.
Okay, but let's talk about it. There's a billion people in the world.
I mean, like, look.
What's wrong with fat women?
No,
listen.
It's not a problem. You know, some men can be attracted to, you know, thicker women, right?
Yeah.
Right. We're not saying that's the problem, but we're saying, like, if a woman is saying this would a guy got to have 6 figures or this and that, I'm just bringing it up, right? And we're saying, okay, well, like you said, his delivery may be wrong, but he's saying, yo, your chances might be better if you look more.
If you lost some weight,
a lot of men care about how a woman appearance is, how cute she look. We're not caring about what you got in your pocket or what you bring home.
Don't get him wrong.
All she spoke about was physical appearance.
And most men physical.
Okay, that's where I gotta get disagreed. I'm gonna keep stopping the video when I need to. So I don't agree with my man here a lot. Okay, first off, men do look for looks first. That's just you can't get around that. Men look for looks first. My woman is gorgeous. Okay, she got a face. Okay, my woman gorgeous. Okay, now if by mere chance, it ain't just her that makes her gorgeous. Her face is gorgeous. Don't get it twisted. That's amazing to me. But she also is, you know, educated. She's also has the ability to take care of herself if something should happen to me. You know, I believe that men should provide for their wives, but I also believe in people being prepared for when things go wrong, right? I don't believe a person should stop taking care of themselves just because you got into a relationship, you know? And here's the other part of that. If you are an average person with an average salary, which the average person in America makes $45,000 a year, some lower than that, okay? But around $40,000-$50,000 a year. You bring another person with at least $30,000 a year, you got enough money to take care of your family, to store away, and to invest into stuff, right? It's not, you can't say that when you're trying to do it all by yourself in this country with things the way they are financially. We're actually going through an inflation. We're going through so many different changes in America. The average person needs to work together with their spouse who may need to work. Now, again, I'm also of the mindset that it is smart business that you don't rely strictly on one person. You don't know what will happen. Just because you come into a situation with everything, you don't know how or when the bottom is going to fall out. I don't care what nobody say. No one is prepared for the bottom to fall out. Nobody. Okay? Nobody. No man, no woman, no child, nobody. Everybody is prepared for everything to go right. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Everybody is prepared for everything to go right. You prepare yourself by, you know, having a job. You're hoping that everybody keeps their job. You're preparing yourself by making sure you have a good place to live. You're not preparing yourself for if that should go away. No one buys a secondary car. A lot of people don't buy secondary cars to make sure that they have a car in the house just in case they lose their job. Because look, just because you're rich today don't mean you can't be poor tomorrow. And I don't care how much investing you do. You can't say how life is going to treat you. Sometimes life has a way of just going bad. Okay? It just does. Okay? You could have done all the right things. You could have lived all the right ways. You could have invested your time right. You could have went and got educated. You could have invested in the stock exchange and all of these things, have all of these different ways of having financial security. And when it all boils down to, when it's time for things to work out, boom, a storm hits, something knocks you down, and life hits you in the face, and it hits you hard, and you might get sick, you might die, right? And who's to say that doesn't happen the day you say I do? There's a lot of couples that get married, get on a plane crashes. Now both people don't have, because they're both dead. Or heaven forbid, one goes to the store, gets shot in the head. Nobody knows how life is going to end. Nobody knows their day nor their hour, right? So so you have to be prepared. And I believe the best way for any couple to prepare themselves is to have everybody having some type of income coming into the home. So that way, if something should happen, nobody loses everything. Okay? Because the worst thing that you can have happen is that you get sick, you lose your mind, something happens, and no one can do it for themselves anymore. Now we live and work in a time where you got YouTube, you got all these different ways of building new income and these two diverse ways of living. That's a blessing, right? That's a blessing, but that's not everybody. And so, I just always will say to you, be prepared for the worst that could happen. So that way you don't have to worry about things that, we don't want nobody worrying about things that don't need to happen. Right. So again, that's the way I see everybody's got to be prepared. So the time where everybody not having a job doesn't really exist anymore. And I think that you just have to take care of the woman, or the woman just has to take care of the man, those days are not as prevalent as they used to be. And I think we have to get used to that. And I think everybody should be prepared for things to go bad.
Were we looking for a physical?
Wait.
See some
so she's talking about the physical appearance she wants. He's talking about the physical appearance that men that look like that
How
want.
you know?
Most men.
Yeah, you don't know, man.
What you like may not be what he likes.
That's
right?
true.
And that's the problem.
That's
he's trying to give
true.
you he's trying to give you what the majority of men usually want in women, and y'all want to make the exception and be like, well, I'm different.
One or two men.
I'm different. Like he should want me. Like
okay, like now you got to be a little thicker. Then that's the problem too.
Who said
I'm
that?
confused though, because Cameron's small, Cheyenne is strong. I'm the biggest out this group. There's not a nigga on this earth that I did not want that I never put, and I weigh more than 175. So I don't understand.
Are you in a relationship?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
But
now.
I bet.
But I was in a relationship for 5 whole years. Like,
I mean, it's just. I think
Wait a minute, didn't they just try to clown my dude for not having a girl? And they ain't got nobody either. How y'all all clowning each other for not having somebody, and none of y'all got nobody?
about confidence. It's how you approach it. No matter how you look, however you approach somebody.
No matter how you look.
I mean,
That's not
okay.
true.
That's
That's not true. I could bring you 5 men in here that will say that's not true. That's not true.
And I could bring you 105 men that would say it is true. A million men in here that will say it.
A lot of guys be fake undercover BBW lovers, and that shit is mad fucking weird.
That's
like,
true.
That's true. They be like fake loving them, like bigger women. Like,
When
that shit. Like, I don't really consider myself a BBW. Maybe like a mini, whatever. Depending on like the geographic of the men and the weight size, but they be loving.
We're not saying that it's impossible for a woman who looks like that to get that man.
Mm-hmm.
We're just saying that the chances are not as high as somebody who was smaller than she.
So what are y'all thoughts on how Kevin Samuels delivers his messages?
It's a little harsh. No, it's a little harsh. I mean, but he keep it real.
He's giving
keep it real.
I think most women are not used to men being able to express themselves. Like, because you could type in red pill right now on YouTube, and there's black women on there been bashing men for years. Oprah, fucking all these daytime The View, they've been bashing niggas for years, and y'all love it. Y'all eat it up.
Now that's the truth. That's a fact. Right there, it's a fact. Oh my Lord, if they ain't been a fast spoken on this show, man, I remember where Oprah used to go in on black men, not white ones, black ones. Okay, I remember when like every show was black men ain't this, black men ain't that. When they said men, they weren't talking about white men. They was talking about black men. The Murray Poverages of the world and all that. Man, look, it was never a good black image on TV. So it is a huge thing right now that we're rebuilding the image of the black man. And black men are basically now saying, we're not taking this BS anymore. We're not just taking it on the chin anymore. We're going to go on the offense and start showing that we are worth something and we are attractive and we do have value and we can bring value to the home. And some women do have some very lofty goals and lofty expectations when, really both people should be looking for the internal and not just the physical and not just the superficial things that are in a relationship.
The first time the hold on.
Majority.
This is the first time. Hold on. This is the first time the manosphere has been relevant. Y'all never even heard of this shit before. Kevin Samuels is new. 2 years he just started doing this shit. And y'all in an uproar because y'all never been in a position
to hear a black man, Jones, Ricky Lake, everybody.
Black man. Yeah, exactly. But when he was saying,
listen, at first he was just being nice.
No.
Being decent,
I'm gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. At first he was critiquing men, and nobody cared. Women was like, yeah, get him. As soon as he switched over. Then, oh no, you hate your mother. He's gay, like you would say, right?
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah,
right.
I ain't even gonna say it, but true. I feel like the way he tear down black women, there's no way he ever could like a black woman.
But y'all tear down black men, and y'all don't care.
But how every day?
But how about you?
Yes.
But how is telling a woman that if she was more in shape, that she would be more attracted to her?
People have feelings, and it's the delivery.
But nobody cares about the man's feelings.
And it's a new time. Like, about body
somebody pull them aside, you say something positive.
But for women,
but
ain't nobody sticking up for the fat man.
That's not true.
Y'all calling a fat man all types of lame. A nigga that don't got money is all types of lame.
What's that though? Because I can pull up one of my exes right now. He definitely is not small.
I mean, I don't date fat men. I mean,
so if a nigga said that, then he hate his mother and he gay, right?
But there's a lot of niggas that say that they don't date fat women or they don't like dark-skinned women, and your mother looks like Wesley Snipes. Who the fuck are you talking about?
Again, we're talking again about outliers. People are talking about outliers. They're talking about people who, a stark majority of people are not going to meet a Rihanna. They're not going to meet that 1%. Okay, the stark majority of people are not going to meet the bare minimum of people. Okay, let's put it again. The stark majority of us are not going to meet the upper 1%, and we're not going to get to date those people. Okay, you don't even know where they hang. You don't even know where they sit. So this is where I agree with Kevin Samuel. You don't even know what it takes to be on that level. Look. Everybody don't need to sit in every chair, right? Every woman can't be a first lady of a church. I'm going to say it again. Every woman can't be the first lady of a church. Every woman can't be Michelle Obama. Okay? Do you know how much work it takes to be Michelle Obama? It takes a lot of work to be Michelle Obama. It ain't easy. It ain't something you can just come up with. You know what I'm saying? You got to have something in you that makes, someone like a Barack Obama want to be in that relationship with you. It's her education, her wherewithal to be with him. Remember, Michelle was with Barack when Barack had nothing. Okay, Barack was a pizza man. Okay, and she was with the pizza man. Okay, she was with him when he went through school. She helped him get through school. She didn't say at the end, well, I helped you get through school. Woo, 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 woo. So now you owe me. She said, hey, I'm going to keep helping you. She in Harvard Law. He's in his law school. They didn't grown up. They didn't gain up together. Now they became this beautiful family. Now they got these beautiful children. They got a beautiful life together. And look at them now. They're the president, the first lady of the United States of America. And to some people still, they feel like those are the presidents, the best president of all time. Okay. Not my personal opinion, but some people actually feel that way. I say that they are in the running to be that like greatest president types, but I wouldn't say that he is the greatest president. Okay. Some people will say he was, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's your personal opinion. You have a right to it. So anyway, it's like, look at how far they came from. Everybody can't be married to TD Jakes. You see what I'm saying? You got to listen to this story. Find out how they became that couple. It's not for everybody, right? Everybody can't be with you, the person who you are, the thing that you bring to the table. Everybody can't be with you. It's a certain person, a certain type of person that's needed for your life. You can't just get that from anywhere, right? You can't pull that out of the sky. It has to be somebody that wants to be in that with you. So I say you have to look into inward and find your preferences. Make sure that they're not lofty. Okay, make sure that they're not over the top. Make sure you're not aiming for the 1% and aim for something like the 1%, which means like, okay, the 1% for you, what's your 1%? What does your 1% look like? Have your standard and don't falter from that standard. You know, they may be, okay, for example, you may like tall girls. You may like short women, you know, whatever your height preference is. On average, how many short women do you see a day? How many tall people do you see a day? Do you know where all the models sit? Do you know what it's like to be with a model? Do you know what work it takes to date a model? Have you looked into that? How do dudes who date models live their life? How do they exist in that relationship? You know, how do they make their life easier by being in it? Have you did any research on that? You know, on the type of person you're saying you want to date or you want to be around, you know, as a man, you know what I'm saying? Because men, we're the ones who ask out women. Women, you're the ones who accept that asking, you know, and then are you available in that way? So what Kevin Samuels is saying is not specifically wrong. You do have to, you know, be the standard to which you're saying you want to, you know, be a part of. So if you want to be in a relationship with a guy who is like a rich man, what work does it take to be in that relationship? What do you need to supply to be available to that person? And how can you, because remember, love is about what you do for the other person, not what you do for yourself. So the question is, how do you, a loving person, you know what I'm saying, a loving creature, love this person that has this occupation? It's not just fairy tales and good times. How do you maintain that relationship? Or if they're a public person, how do you continue to have a relationship with a public figure? How does that work for you? You have to answer that question yourself. No one can answer that question for you. You have to do that research. You have to find out, does this fit who I am as a person? And if it doesn't fit who I am as a person, can I truly exist with this type of person? Because just because you get it doesn't mean you're going to be happy with it, right? There's a lot of things we get. We think we want it. We think this is what we want for our lives. And then, you know, you get it and it's not what you wanted at all. So is this what you want? Are you really trying to be a part of that thing? Have you done the research? Have you done the work to make sure that that you're prepared to be with whomever it is you're trying to be with? Where do they hang? Where do they stay? How do they hang out? How do they manage their finances? Are they good in this direction? You know, how do they maintain themselves? You know, are they Christian? Are they not Christian? How does that feel? How does that feel in your heart? You know, you got to ask those questions.
Our moms. I hate when y'all do that. I hate when y'all do that. Y'all are not our moms. Y'all not our moms. Our moms love us unconditionally. Y'all don't. So stop comparing yourselves to our moms. Y'all not them.
She can look like Willie Sykes.
Like, I don't care.
She gets the exception. She gets the exception.
I mean, that's kind of crazy, though. No, I mean...
No, I mean, niggas. I feel like niggas.
I mean, like, y'all gotta admit, there's the bias is just outrageous.
Yeah, the bias is the bias.
You got one nigga that's talking up for men, and y'all trying to kill him. Y'all about to assassinate him.
Women out there killing.
But,
she don't listen to him.
I don't watch it.
You rolled your eyes as soon as he said Kevin Savage. I saw you, and you think he gay?
What I could say is, I seen one of the episodes and there was a girl. She was up there. She had 6 kids, 6 baby fathers, and she had this high expectation of a man that she would want. Her life together. He should have taught her up.
And men expectations too high.
She deserved a tear up because it's like, girl, you was nothing. Like,
but
not nothing, but you like, but you know what I'm trying to say? You kind of bottom of the toe.
Question: when it's like a woman, let's say if it was a woman telling a man like, "Oh, where you work at?" and you want a woman that does what for you? Oh, get the fuck out of here.
But you dusty, you black, nigga.
You don't got shit going on. You work at, you got potential.
Right,
Fuck your potential, Danny. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not like that.
I'm just saying.
Because I done dated fellas.
No.
You talking about you again. We trying to talk about majority.
You were talking about majority. It's like we're talking about Kevin Samuels.
There's a majority of y'all gotta go on jail TikTok. It's a bunch of bitches up there that
before you flip it.
No, listen, y'all gotta go on jail TikTok.
Before you flip it,
y'all gotta go on search it.
If that was
prison wife TikTok.
If that was flipped, would that woman be praised by women?
Probably not.
I feel like she would be. No, she would be. There's gonna be a group of women that might tear her down.
If there was a female Kevin Samuels.
If it was a female Kevin Samuels.
She's talking to men how Kevin Samuels talk to women. She wouldn't be popular.
But
you won't be like. You won't be watching. Don't lie.
As my people tell me,
you won't be watching her show.
I don't know. I can't say yes. I can't say no because I'm not gonna lie. I like the controversy that he brings to the table. I like
Derek Jackson got millions of followers. Just what's that Pastor Poppy Don nigga? But y'all don't care because he's saying what y'all want to hear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hot acid before I sit next to a guy and hold his hand while he tell the world that he fucking cheated on me. I would drink hot acid, ammonia, acid, and fucking bleach.
But before that, was you following him?
Never. No, I think he gay too. So
I never followed him.
I think he did. I think he did.
What is up with this men have to be gay thing? Just because you don't agree with somebody. Like, that's just weird. That's just weird. How are you saying that you want to be, with men, but then you got such a terrible way of looking at men? You say you love black men, right? Now, again, you may not agree with the person. I'm all for people not agreeing. That's fine. You ain't got to agree. Y'all have the right to your opinion. Y'all have the right to your thoughts and ideas and actions. Everybody got a right to that, right? But nobody has the right to put you down just because you don't agree with them. I think that's messy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's messy. So I don't like that. I don't like when people, put somebody down just because you don't agree with them. That person don't have to be gay just because you don't agree with them. That just means that you don't agree with them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with everything women say and do, but I don't think she a lesbian just because, I don't agree with her. That's disrespectful, man. Like, that's not the best way to treat somebody. All right. Now I'm seeing people coming in. I see people going, but if you could come in and if you could come in and sit for a second and do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like button for me so that way I know that you was here, or just leave a comment and let me just know what you think. I've been seeing some of these spammers come in and get the spam, but I've been blocking them as we go. So that's why you don't see every comment. There's big comments coming through here. A lot of them are spammers. Again, shout out to Irish Hill Chat. Irish Hill Chat says those women have a sexual market face value of 1 and 3 out of 1 or 3 out of 10 at best. And as I said earlier, those young women are entitled to who they are. I ain't gonna put them down. I don't believe in putting down black women or any woman for that matter, just because I don't find them attractive. They're not my type. They're not my cup of tea. So I want to be, I'm not going to be upset about that. But if that's what you think about them, that's what you think about them. You have a right to that. Let's see. Now he says, he or she also says, I'm just going to keep it honest. Black men need to keep their hands off of white women. Now, I don't know where to go with that, because I think that here's my take on this. Okay, this is my take on this. Let me put my music up. Thank you for the compliment. Let me put my music up. I'll hit that like for them because they let me. We all get a chance. Go ahead and go to the Daily Wrap Up Crew. That's one of my favorite channels out here. Good stuff to them. So I do appreciate, him, O'Shea Duke Jackson. I appreciate him. I've seen his videos, so I do want to make sure I do that. Give them those shout outs and thank you guys for things. So I do. There are a lot of things that I do agree with Kevin Samuels. There's a lot of things I do not agree with Kevin Samuels. I don't think that he's completely wrong. I think that there's things that he's right about. He doesn't always have the best delivery. I don't always agree with his delivery. A lot of his delivery, I think he could say things a lot better. I think he could be a lot more merciful. But I believe in giving people mercy and kindness, and those are just the traits that I believe in having. He may not feel that way, but at the same time, here's the thing: when you go to the doctor, you can't go to the doctor and be upset that he told you that you're sick. Then here's the other part about it: if he diagnosed you with the sickness, you can't be upset that he diagnosed you with sickness. Right? You gotta be willing to take what he has to say and respect what he has to say, because if he's really your doctor, he really cares about you. He wants to see you well, and he's going to have to tell you the hard truth. And the hard truth sometimes don't feel comfortable. Sometimes it's not going to make you feel good emotionally. Sometimes it's going to make you angry. Sometimes it's going to, make you feel like. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. It's gonna make you feel like you can't, that like he doesn't like you as a person. He's gonna make you feel personal. There's doctors who have the bedside manner, can break anything to anybody, and they can handle it, right? Then you got people like Kevin Samuels. You got that doctor like Kevin Samuels who just really say the way it is, and they don't really sugarcoat, And so I mean, it's all in what is good for you. What's comfortable for you, what makes you feel good, you know what I mean? Everybody has a different way of looking at it. Everybody's got a different standard to it. I personally like my doctor to tell me what it is. I like when people tell me what it is. I may push back on it. I may have my feelings about it, but you'll never have to wonder whether I appreciate it. I appreciate honesty. Sometimes even at its most, rudest form sometimes. I need that, I need that. So I appreciate what Kevin Samuels brings to the table. O'Shea Duke Jackson, I watch his channel all the time. And that dude has always had good things to say. He always puts stuff out. He makes me laugh. I actually got a chance to talk to him about a year ago. You don't remember me, but I got a chance to talk to him a year ago. And, he was like, he talked to me like a normal person, man. He ain't no phony dude. And I appreciate that about him in his channel. So shout out to both Kevin Samuels, shout out to the Daily Wrap Up and crew. And I hope that they continue to grow and have much success on their channels. Kevin Samuels and Duke Jackson, all of them. Okay. So getting back to this question. I'm just going to keep, and honest black men need to keep their hands off of white women. This is what I'm going to say about that. I think that we as a culture cannot tell somebody who first off, I can't tell you who you should be attracted to. I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is this. Somebody said something interesting to me today about that. They said, Black love is on life support. They said Black love is on life support. They said Black love is on life support because Black men and Black women are not attracted to each other anymore. Men are going their own way, women are going their own way. And there was kind of a rise of interracial in America. And I'm going to say it like this. They're not completely wrong. There has been a uptick, so to speak, of interracial relationships. Black people who, and especially in the next generation, my kids' generation, your kids' generation, they're not going to be so attracted to being in their race. They're going to date other cultures, dating more Asian cultures, dating more in the African cultures, dating more in the different places. It's going to be a lot more changes like that. Our generation, as it passes on, we are You know, they say that we're on life support. I personally don't agree with that. I think that Black love can exist. I think that there is a push for Black relationships to end because society, as usual, per the course, doesn't want Black people to be successful. Okay, I don't believe that we have overcome all the issues, all the racial disparities in this country. I'm not going to believe that. I believe that it's not promoted on TV. It will never be promoted on TV in the media that Black love is good. Okay, they're always going to promote Black love in a vacuum. You know, it's going to be for a while through the lens of the white experience, and you know, so you have the right to love who you want to love. You have the right to be with whomever you want to be with. But do I think Black people need to stay away from white women? I think that Black people should stay away from anything that's going to cause you to be corrupt. You know, if you are a product of your environment. If you're a Black man who grew up in white and more suburban America, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to date a white woman, right? That's just honest. Like, if you grew up in a more urban area, more Black people around, 9 times out of 10, you're going to date more Black women. You know, if you go to a school that's highly white, mostly white girls around, that means that the Black girls on campus are like 1%, 2%, right? Eyes on favor, you're going to see mostly white girls. Would you probably marry a white woman? 9 times out of 10, yes. Unless you just so happen to be able to get in contact with the 1% of Black girls out there. Now you got to kind of like the pick of your litter. You don't know how many that might be. Let's say your school has, 30,000 students, or 50,000 students, and or 5,000 students on site a day, on campus a day. And, only 1% of that number, is actually like Black. So maybe 500 to 1,000 women there is like, you probably got 1,000 women there that's Black. On average, you probably see 1 or 2 Black girls a day. The most popular 2 Black girls you see, and that's it. Are they going to be trying to date you? Or are they going to go somewhere else and try to find somebody? What if they already dating somebody? So now, you date where you, just like anybody else, you eat where you are local at, right? You eat in your neighborhood, you eat in your area. So somebody's in that area, they're going to eat where that's at. So I would say, personally, that 9 times out of 10, if a woman is dating in her neighborhood, if a man is dating in her neighborhood, if they're dating on their campus, if they're dating in their church, and they have majority around them that is, of a particular people, it's more likely to do it. Here's another thing: comfortability. People being comfortable with things. So, like, let's say you grew up and you were adopted, and you were adopted into a white family. Let's say you were adopted into a white family. What could actually happen in that, right? You're more comfortable. They got a white daughter, right? And you've been in that family for 30 years. What are you more likely to be more comfortable with dating? You might be more comfortable dating white girls. Why? Because you've been around white women. You were raised by a white woman. You have a comfortability that's going to allow you to do that. Maybe you lived in an Asian neighborhood. Let's just say, only Black family there. Well, now you hang out with the Asian person more. You feel more comfortable hanging around Asian people. What you more likely to date? You're probably going to date an Asian one. Maybe you grew up in China. Maybe you grew up in the Philippines. You'll feel more comfortable. You adapt easier to the people that you're more comfortable with being around. So it's not that a person doesn't want to be with an all Black person, all white person. That may be. Now, let's say you grew up in a hood and you've been around some Black people your whole life, and for some reason you can't seem to find somebody in your local neighborhood. Maybe I don't know. You should never date out of the bitterness of I can't find somebody. I don't believe that. This world is so connected now. You have the internet. You have different sides of the internet, right? You got different websites. You got Plenty of Fish, where I met my girl. You got sites like Hinge, and you got sites like you got apps like Hinge. You got Bumble. You got all the different places you can meet somebody. So it's not like it can be so many different places you can meet somebody. So it's not like you're just stuck in one place, right? You're able to go to different places. Traveling is not so hard to do nowadays. The likelihood of you being able to travel from one destination to another is not uncommon now. You can get between literally Cleveland and Atlanta in the matter of hours. Like, it's literally just like a 2-hour flight. You can literally spend your day in Atlanta and go back home in the same day. Like, in the same exact day. You don't even have to stay in Atlanta. You can literally go from Cleveland to Detroit to Atlanta in one day, in 2 hours. So that means you can literally spend your whole day in Atlanta. It's a 6-hour flight to Houston. You can spend your day in Houston. You can spend your day in South Carolina and go back home the same day. You spend about $200. But, once a week doing that, if that's something you want to do, if you love that person enough, you can go and meet them. The long distance is not that long anymore. It used to be an 8-hour flight between, Cleveland and or Ohio or anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could used to take 8 hours to fly from the east to the west. Now it takes 4. So 4 hours, a 4-hour flight. You're not just stuck here one day. So my point is, whatever you think is like, available to you. If you want to date the person who's black, if you want to date the person who is white, you're going to want to date who you want to date. And there's no real excuse as to why you should say, I am stuck to date this type of person. That's who you want to date, right? So shout out to Irish Hill Chant. I totally agree with the idea that black people should try to, date internally. I think that should always be your first option is black. I think that should be your first option because black people are not the majority of this country. Black people is not even half the country. With abortion, with all these different things, murder rates, and all those things combined, our numbers are dwindling heavily. And if we really do want us to grow as people, we have to start putting our time and our money into, putting our effort into black love. Do I think it's on life support? I think it's nearing that way. I think it's starting to mirror that way a little bit. And I think as the generations go on, less people will be, dating in their race anyway. But I do think that we are really not putting enough stock into the black community. And I think black people should start with black people, let it begin with me, you know what I'm saying? Being with the person that's like you, beautiful black couple, loving black love, and being a part of that black love experience is an amazing thing, man. There's nothing like black love. I don't care what nobody say. When two black people, be the light skin, dark skin, medium skin, chocolate, mocha, two cafe au lait people, doesn't matter. If two black people get together and start dating, and they get married, they have a healthy marriage, and they take care of one another, and they don't just self-destruct, don't destroy each other. When they lifting up each other, there's nothing more greater than a black couple who is beautiful and put together, So I would say to you, and to you, Irish Hill Chant, I do believe that black people should try to work together and be together and try to stay together. It don't matter really what the race of the other person is. I just feel like black people should try that. I think even if it's an African person. But I think that honestly, African Americans should try their best to be together because it keeps the race, and it keeps us, around. Because our numbers are so low, where our numbers are not where they should be. We should be half the country, not 13%. We should be half the country by now, but we're not. We're not even 50% of the country. We're not even 40% of the country, right? So we need to get that. To me, it's something we need to work on. All right, I think we got time for one more video. One more video. What video are we going to watch? This one says, I'm going to force my boyfriend. I'm going to force my boyfriend to marry me because I don't want to be a girlfriend. That's an interesting thing to say. Let's go with it. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we go, everybody. Now, this is the young lady's name is Riva. So we're going to watch her channel, see what she said. We're going to react to the video, not specifically her. So I try to watch the whole video through, so that way the channel that I come from get the money from it.
And today, I actually was scrolling through TikTok and I saw this video and I thought it was just such a good video to give some feedback on. So I am going to do like my normal start and stop and stuff like that. But I think this is such an interesting story. You know, this is a topic that a lot of people have been talking about. There's so many discussions. There's so many questions that people have about marriage and dating and timelines and stuff like that. So I really, really liked this girl, this woman, excuse me. I really like this woman's years, and for the last year, I wanted to get engaged so badly.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I can't stress enough. I don't know if this is exactly to your question, but I did a lot of work, trust work, to be like, look, if this is a man you actually want to marry, there should be a man that you actually trust, right? So you should trust that when he asks you, it's in the right time, when he's ready. You shouldn't doubt or pressure or push. And everything in me was like, doubt, pressure, push. And so whether or not you know it, I really, for the sake of you and me and us, was like,
Okay, so let me say this, because I can't speak for my woman. I can only speak for myself. I like what she had to say. Okay, now, for me, 3 years is a very long time, okay, to be dating. Just a very long time to be dating anyone. That's a long time to be dating anyone. 3 years? I mean, 3 years, you don't know whether or not you want to be with somebody, but you know what? I'll put it to you like this. Life has a way. There could be a lot of things going on that could stop a person from being able to, pop that question when they want to. Sometimes people lose their job. Sometimes people just don't have time and they're, somebody gets sick, et cetera, et cetera. So outside of the anecdotal and the extremes, I think somebody being away that long is a very long time for somebody not to get married. 3 years. What do you think about that, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think 3 years is a long time to be there? Post it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. But 3 years. 3 years of waiting on somebody. but you know, she had to go through trust, and that's humongous in a relationship. You gotta have that trust. That trust is so important because without the trust, it will not work at all. You know, um, listen to what she says again. We dated for 3 years. I wanted to get engaged. Yeah, it's true. Listen to this. If this is actually the man I want to marry, actually trust. What did she say?
Trust, right? So you should trust that when he asks you, it's in the right time, when he's ready. You shouldn't doubt or pressure or push.
There it is. You shouldn't doubt, question, or push. I think that when someone, you know, pressures you into something, it's not something that you really mean. It's not something that you really want to do. It's because somebody is pressuring you into doing it. They're telling you that you have to do it this way or it's not going to work. I want it done now. I want what I want. You know, it's just like the girl from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I want it now. I want the whole world. You know, 3 years is a very long time to make a person wait. But it's, you know, it's still a level of patience that a person must have in order to be in a relationship. That you don't push a person to make them do it. You can't give them an ultimatum because ultimatums ultimately stops a person from doing the exact thing you want them to do, or they'll feel so pressured into being what you're asking them to be that they refuse to be anything else. They'll be like, okay, well, since you told me I have no choice, since you told me I don't have a option, I'm going to go and do me now. You know, I can't be in this relationship because it was so much pressure to get married, and I really didn't want to get married. And I think that's how even people go into cheating because they're now being told that they are forced to do this, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get out of it, even if that means becoming the bad guy. You know, so I think that it's very not saying that cheating is okay because it's not okay, but you know I think that that's why some people end up doing it. If you don't do what I say, the bad thing is going to happen. If you don't do what I say, the bad thing is going to happen. If you don't do what I say, well, we're going to break up. If you don't do what I say, well, ultimatums are a horrible way to live out a relationship and walk out a relationship. There shouldn't be a push to make somebody love you. There shouldn't be a push to make somebody care about you. That's something that they have to instinctively and dedicate their lives to doing it, to service of you, be it the male or the female. No one should feel like they are made to do this because somebody said, you better do this or else. You know, um, when it's like that, some people are so wedding hungry. Let me put on my music, man. Put my music back on. I feel something coming here. Some people are so wedding hungry. Okay, like some people are so wedding hungry. They are looking for the wedding. They are looking for somebody to bring them to that moment where they can just enjoy that big surprise. They want to be a princess for a day. They want to dress in their nice look gown. They want to look good. They want to have their friends. They're gonna spend $10,000 to $20,000 on one day. They're not gonna have any money to actually raise the family. They don't even care whether or not the man even loves them. All they really want to do is have a wedding. Okay, some women are just trying to get married. Okay, look, relationships should not be your goal. I'm gonna say that again. Relationships should not be your goal. It should be it should be the byproduct of what you are feeling internally. Relationships can't be the goal. Because if relationships are the goal, relationships, feelings are fleeting. How you feel about something or somebody today, you may not feel about that way tomorrow. So, relationships are not the goal. The goal is to have a very comfortable relationship between you and this person. You know, is this person who you want to be with? Is this person the person you want to, manage your time with? Who you can trust, that's going to have your best interests at heart, that's going to make sure that things are prepared for you to have a successful relationship. Sometimes as men, we watch to see how things are developing. Is this person somebody I can sit down with and not get into an argument? Is my wife being submissive to me? Does she care about how I feel? Does she care about how things are going to go? You know, or is she just looking for a wedding day? That's the question a man has to ask in his heart. Is this just me having a wedding? Is this just me having a this or that? You know, is it just about the honeymoon? Because I could take you on a trip. That's all you want. Oh, you want a wedding? Well, we can throw a big extravaganza for you. That's not a big deal, right? So there has to be something more than just a wedding. There has to be a relationship developed. There has to be a relationship built. And until you build that relationship between you and that person, all you're doing is, creating a humongous debt and getting yourself ready for divorce. So when my girl says that, I didn't want to push him, I didn't want to pressure him, I didn't want to force him, I had to trust him. I had to learn to trust him. Ask yourself in your relationship, do I trust my man to be the man he's supposed to be? Do I trust that he has my best interest at heart? Can I trust him to be a man? So many people are telling people that you're not allowed to trust men. Don't trust men. Don't wait on a man. But there's some things you got to wait on a man for, right? There's some things that you can't do for yourself. There's some things that you can't make happen for yourself, right? You need a man to accomplish. Think about it. There's some things that you can't just decide in your heart you're going to do. You can't decide to be a bride today. You can be a bride unto yourself, but you're going to look very silly without a groom there. And if there's no love there, if it's toxic and it's always an argument, it's always a fight, it's always a struggle, it's always something. When it's always something, is that something you want to go marching into, or do you think that there's something that you have to do to build the relationship where everything is not always something? It's not always a thing going on. It's not always a fight and a struggle, right? You gotta be looking for the relationship to be valuable, to be helpful. How are you in service to this person? Are you serving this person? Woman, can you submit to this man? In your heart of hearts, can you submit to this man? And if you haven't even began to even start the process of submission, it don't start when you say I do. It starts as you have been dating, courting, and getting yourself prepared for marriage. You don't just wake up one day and now you can flip a switch and you can just turn it on. Nothing works that way. You can't even cook. You can't even cook food in the first 10 seconds of turning on the skillet. It ain't cooking yet. You got to get that skillet hot enough. You got to put some grease in there. You got to let that grease heat up. You got to let that grease get to a place. You got to season your meat, right? You got to season. You got to clean your meat. Then you got to season it. You got to prepare your veggies. You got to prepare the water. Make sure there's some salt in it. Put some noodles in there. Let them start to get to a certain level before you even start cooking a real meal. You got to start the preparation. You got to prepare yourself for a relationship. Are you prepared? We're not just talking about the financial. We're not just talking about your, ability to have a conversation. Those things are great. Those things are amazing. But are you prepared in your heart? In your heart of hearts, are you ready for the things that it takes to take care of the man that you say you love for a lifetime? What if after you say I do, he gets sick? Do you still love him? Are you ready to take care of him? Or are you one of those people that ain't gonna take care of no man? If you got that mentality, that may not be the man you may not want to get him married, because marriage is about what you do for someone else, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others. Are you ready to turn your mama aside for your husband? Are you ready to say no to your daddy for your husband? Are you ready to tell your kids it's okay for that person to discipline your kids? Can you trust that man with your kids? Vice versa, can you trust that woman with your kids? Can you trust this person financially? Or are you ready for it to end? And I'm not talking about just getting a prenup here. Can you trust this woman financially to take care of your finances, to take care of everything the way it's supposed to? Or are you worried that she's going to take you for everything you got? Do you think this is a trap? These are things you got to ask yourself. You can't just say today, I'm going to be in a relationship. I'm going to get married. You can't just put the pressure to somebody. Because if you put the pressure to somebody, that's not love. Because you don't have to, when someone really loves you, you don't have to force them to do nothing. They're going to do it because they love you. I love my girl. That's why we engaged, right? Because I felt that in my heart. And as a man, I wanted to marry her. I'm not going to keep playing with her. I'm not going to play with her heart. Right? So it's the same way. You're not going to play with the one that you love. You say you love this person, you're going to be there for them. And you're going to make the changes that need to be made. You're going to love on those who you need to love on. Appreciate those who you appreciate. And that's all I got to say about that. So we're coming up on last 10 minutes. I'm going to leave this up for about 3 more. I may just go ahead and just head on out at the 122 mark, and maybe a little bit more later, 25, I guess. And we can go ahead and stop it here. I really appreciate this. This was a great thing. I enjoyed every bit of this. If you like what you have seen here on Big Ox Uchia, please let me know in the comment section, in the chat, how you feel about everything. Tell me again how you feel about Kevin Samuels. Tell me what you think about O'Shea Duke Jackson. Tell me what you think about the Manosphere. What is your opinion on the Manosphere? Do you think that this is a great thing, or do you think it's something that needs to be looked at? How do you feel about the Manosphere? Is the question you should be asking yourself. Give me your thoughts and your opinions on everything. As for me, I'm your boy, the Big Ox Uchia. The Big Ox Uchia. And I am ready to go cook my girl a steak. So I'm out of here, y'all. I'm going to have a good day. I hope y'all have a good evening, a good morning, and a good night. God bless. Stop sharing in the broadcast.